Good morning. Happy Thursday. Haha, just kidding. Happy Wednesday to you guys. The Dow is on fire right now. Since early last year, I was the only guru that put an emphasis on the U.S. financial markets, linking it to the Dow, because remember I was telling you Trump is in charge of the timing of the revaluation, and he was using this to his advantage for the timing for re-election because his 2020 campaign theme is a strong economy, okay? So as you see right now, the Dow is very close to 29,500. The Dow will pretty much probably around, say, mid-March, the Dow's probably going to hit 29,000, about 30,000 points in close proximity to the rate change again. So you're going to see the Dow around 30,000 points in very close proximity to the rate change, probably sometime around mid-March, okay? So that's good. Now, let's talk about our investment group. I've got some really amazing ideas for this. Just so you guys know right now, I have my personal mobile cell phone service through T-Mobile. Through time, T-Mobile has had let me just give you a quick technical explanation so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from on this. Because some people frown on T-Mobile, but I want to tell you about the new 5G changes so you have a better understanding of what might be best for you. Okay, the higher a frequency, the weaker it penetrates buildings, and the lower a frequency, the stronger that the signal broadcasts and penetrates buildings, okay? So what you're after is a lower frequency. That means it broadcasts farther and penetrates buildings better. Now, with 4G LTE, both AT&T and Verizon were around 1,200 megahertz, okay? And with 4G, T-Mobile was 1,700. So you're looking at 1,200 and 1,700. With Verizon and AT&T being 1,200, they've penetrated buildings better than T-Mobile and broadcasted farther. That's why T-Mobile has had a weaker signal through 4G. Now let's talk about 5G. With 5G, back in 2017, T-Mobile bought the rights through the FCC to the 600 megahertz frequency, half as low as both AT&T and Verizon, okay? Now, so right now, T-Mobile's 5G is at 600 megahertz, okay? They're using kind of low to mid band frequency for their 5G. Today, Verizon has shot up a lot higher, okay? I think they're around 1,700 on their high millimeter wave for their 5G. What does that mean? That means that Verizon, here's the kicker with Verizon. Verizon has a faster bit rate on their 5G. They're around 50 gigabits per second for upload and download speeds, but it's line of sight, okay? You have to be in like a direct path with the antennas, okay? So it's a weaker signal, and it does horrible inside buildings unless they have repeaters for their frequency, okay? For their signal. Without those items, so when you have a nice direct line of sight with the antennas, it works great. But in buildings and in your house, it's going to stink. Now, let's talk about what T-Mobile did. T-Mobile took the middle of the road, okay? They're running low to mid-band against 600 megahertz. Their T-Mobile, or their signal broadcasts much farther now, and they're averaging right around 20 to 30 gigabits per second on 5G, but they broadcast a lot farther and penetrate buildings very well. So going forward, T-Mobile has, in a way, switched roles with Verizon as far as signal broadcasting and so forth. Okay, so going forward, I personally would rather have a little bit of a slower speed, but when you're talking 20 to 30 gigabits per second, that's not really slow. That's crazy fast, okay? But I would rather have my signal work better inside buildings and broadcast farther, okay? That's what T-Mobile has done. Now, let me share something with you guys. What I'm going to do, anybody who wants to partner with me on investments, one of the things I'm going to do right away is get a server set up, have some online billing software on it, and I'm going to offer T-Mobile to you guys for about roughly $30 a month, okay, per line, okay? So getting about $30 per line. I've got to crunch the numbers, but it'd be right around $30 if you wanted insurance on for non-T-Mobile devices. Insurance is about $15 per device, okay? So it'd be about $45 with insurance, okay? Anyway, I'm going to offer that to you guys, and if I can get enough of you guys that want to do this, because that's a pretty significant savings per phone. I'll be able to offer that to you guys. I'll set up a server for the billing, and you guys can, have that. As another thing I was going to do is what I've learned through time is one of the things I do with my older son is we buy and sell cars together. Okay. So one of the things I've learned through this is I prefer to drive cars that are just a few years older, because if you buy a new car from the dealership, by the time you leave the dealership, that new car depreciates by about $4,000 to $5,000. So if you buy a car slightly used with, with very low miles, okay, it doesn't depreciate as fast, okay? And you still have a newer car, but it doesn't depreciate as fast. So that's, from a financial standpoint, that's more financially beneficial, okay? You don't go through money as fast. That's one thing we've all learned since the slow economy and kind of the partial recession that we incurred in about 2007, 2008, okay, is we've learned to do more with less and save our money and stuff. That's what God instilled within us from that, okay? Well, that's one of the things, I could definitely, that's one of the things I'm going to get into is the vehicles. I will have newer vehicles, just a few years old, with lower mileage on them, and I'll be able to get them for you guys below book value, okay? Again, below book value. So I can help you guys out with that. So anyway, I'll have a lot to offer you guys, but like I said, we're going to do cryptocurrencies. I want to work with, there was a gentleman yesterday, I didn't get a chance to get his name, but I can find it from yesterday's video. He said he's very good at running businesses, that kind of thing. I'd like to talk to you about possibly doing mergers, acquisitions. So we have a lot of, and then again, we can write loans. There's a lot we can do here, guys. We can bring some things into the table to save money and create some different investment options, as well as to where you can get returns on your money. And we can also work with some different, investment managers at different financial institutions, whether it be Edward Jones or Charles Schwab or whatever, just an investment group that will partner with us and invest our money for us, just to, so we can diversify our wealth, okay? So we can do a lot here. I look forward to working with you guys. Anyway, this is what I wanted to offer to you guys. As you see right now, the Dow is on fire, so we're looking really good. You guys have a great day, and God bless.